Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another one of our business webinar series at the African American Chamber of Commerce. I think this is what, number like 9 or 10 that we've done so far. And we're always excited. Uh, Please, if you love what you're seeing so far, follow us on social media at AACCHV on Instagram. On YouTube. We're also going to be streaming live on YouTube. We would really love your support if you could subscribe to our channel and like and comment on our videos when you get a chance. But you're getting it live and in person today. So we're going to go in. Today we're talking about alternative business funding options. I'm trying to work Zoom and my presentation thing at the same time, so bear with me. Let me share screen. Share.
Is it letting you? I may have to.
It's doing something new and fancy, and my brain just doesn't like it. So it wants me to share like multiple screens. So I'm good.
Okay.
Am I sharing? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. So let me move the Zoom little thingy over here. All right. Very good. So yes, so tonight we're talking about, oh Lord, hold on. Give me a second, guys. Let me present full screen. Full screen, present. Okay, so tonight we're talking about alternative funding options for your small business. For the African American Chamber of Commerce, presented by me. So we've been talking about different business topics since the beginning of the year, really. And money is something that always comes up as a topic. Whenever you're dealing with business, you're always going to need funding for your business. No matter what stage of business you're in, whether it's you're starting up, whether you're in you've made it through the toughest first 2 or 3 years, and now you're in like year 3 to 7, where you're kind of like finding your legs, you get your sea legs under you, kind of stabilizing your business and growing your market presence, right? Every single stage, whether you're starting up, whether you're trying to grow your business, or whether you're in the phase where you might now start thinking about exiting your business and selling it to retire, at every single stage, you're going to need funding at different times for different reasons. And tonight we want to talk about different alternative funding options, right? So the key ingredient for most companies are missing to help their business grow is working capital. Working capital is the day-to-day stuff, paying my business lease, paying my employees, ordering supplies from my vendors, paying my utility bills online to keep the lights on, literally, right? So those are the working capital things on a day-to-day basis to operate your business that sometimes people run into trouble with. Maybe you have experienced a pandemic and half of your employees can't come to work, or 90% of your vendors are not able to supply you. So you have to look for different places to get things, or, use back stock. Now your delivery costs are higher. All kinds of things can just throw a monkey wrench right into your day-to-day business operations. Sometimes you might have to get on that phone, get on that interweb, and look for money to keep operations going, right? Luckily for you, there are many alternative funding options. We're going to talk about some of them tonight. But mainly we're looking at traditional types of lending versus alternative lending. We are not discussing any of the traditional stuff, right? No traditional bank loans, no, getting your last 3 years tax returns, no, give me bank statements going back 2 years. We're not doing that. We're looking for alternative sources. Um, Alternative sources, usually when you're business is really small that you can't even qualify for a traditional loan, or if you're just really cash strapped and you wouldn't be able to meet the requirements of a traditional loan. Okay, so what is alternative funding and financing? Alternative financing refers to any small business loan, advance, or another type of commercial financing that's available through alternative funders and financing companies for business that do not meet traditional business loan requirements, right? I mentioned if you go to a bank down the street, they typically want to see a lot of documentation. And especially, depending on what your business structure is. If you're a corporation, they're going to want to know not just the business banking information, but the officer's personal financial information sometimes, right? So we're not going through all of that. This is for if your business is just so new or just so small that you wouldn't meet those requirements. All hope is not lost. You can go through an alternative financing solution. They are way more flexible and you will have quite a few attractive options. So let's look at some of these types of alternative funding, right? So let me be clear before I go on. I was using the term alternative financing and alternative funding kind of interchangeably. There is a difference. With alternative financing, you are getting money from an institution that you will have to pay back. Some of the funding options don't have to be paid back. So we'll go into those a little bit later. So let's look at the alternative financing options that we're going to talk about today. So there are 5: short-term loans, lines of credit, merchant cash advance, asset-based loans, and invoice factoring, right? And you guys, please, I know Tamika is moderating, so if you have any questions along the line, you're welcome to drop them in the chat. Let us know what you would like to review, or if I'm going too fast, let me know. But we will have a Q&A section at the end of the webinar as well.
I've let all of the people know. So I've been communicating with them in the chat. Jillian, one question, your screen is not sharing. Is there something that we should be seeing?
Oh yeah, lots of stuff. Oh my God, all this time. Let me.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, thank you. Hold on. I apologize. Let me see. I hate the way Zoom does this. It's doing it as a pop-up now. So it's covering up other windows. Give me a second. Let's reshare. Screen. Share.
I just made you the host, so try now.
Okay. Can you see it?
Yes, it's here.
Okay, let me go back to the beginning. Oh my God. I'm using, oh, I say use them. Give me a second. It's popping up all kinds of stuff here. Move that out of the way. Girl, I've been.
Guys, just bear with us during our little technical difficulties. We
Okay,
will get it together.
I had to switch to my other computer today that I don't use often, and it's kind of, things are not where they're supposed to be, so I apologize. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, does it say alternative funding options?
Yes.
Awesome, good. We're where we're supposed to be. Thank you for your patience, guys. We're going to start over from the beginning just with the slides, right? We're talking about alternative funding options for your small business. The key ingredient for most companies that they're missing to help their business grow is working capital. And that is, working capital is an official phrase for all of the day-to-day spending that your business does. So that might be anywhere from, payroll, covering your employees' payroll. That could be ordering supplies from vendors. That could be making repairs. That could be paying your utility bills. on your business to keep the lights on, right? For a lot of new, very new or small businesses, you are going to have a harder time qualifying for a traditional business loan. So that's why we're talking about these really great alternatives for you. So you know where to go to get help and to get that money at a critical time when your business might need it. At every stage of your business, whether you are a new business, whether you've been in business for already 3 to 5 years, 7 years, or if you've been in business 7 years or longer, every single stage of your business, you will need money for a variety of reasons. So take a look at some of these options. We are not going to be talking about traditional loans tonight. So traditional business loans are typically very difficult to get. They can be time consuming. They require a lot of documentation. Usually, you know, you're going to have a much better chance of getting a traditional business loan if you've been established and your paperwork is good, right? You can provide 2 to 3 years business taxes. They want to see, you know, your bank statements, right? A few months of those. If you have your business listed in, you know, maybe a corporation like an S Corp or a C Corp, depending on the size and the type of the loan, they might also want to see financial documentation on the business owners or business partners, right? So those can be very, very complicated, a lot of requirements, and a lot of new and small businesses will not meet those guidelines. So we're looking at non-banking lenders, we're looking at micro lenders and alternative lenders. And then we're also going to look at some non-loan options as well. I gotta move this thing out of the way. So what is alternative funding and financing? Alternative financing refers to any small business loan or cash advance or another type of commercial financing available through alternative funders, right? This is for businesses that don't meet the requirements of a traditional loan. And these types of loans are also much more flexible. Okay, so here are the 5 alternative financing. So I kind of mentioned this before. I was initially using the term alternative financing and alternative funding kind of interchangeably, but there is a difference. With the financing options, they generally want their money back. So you have a repayment schedule, right? And with funding options might come from investors or they might come from grants that do not require repayment. So we're going to talk about both of those. And initially, we're going to talk about these 5 financing options, right? So that could be a short-term loan. It could be a line of credit. It could be a merchant cash advance, an asset-based loan, or an invoice factoring kind of arrangement, okay? So what does any of that even mean? Let's take a look. So with a short-term loan, it's usually, you know, it could be 1 to 5 years, 3 years, 5 years kind of thing. They have a less strict requirements and a simpler loan approval process, right? And it's for companies, they provide companies with a small lump sum of capital and a set payment schedule. So you're going to repay a specific amount at specific times. These are usually easy to get approved. And again, it's a short-term loan. You can also have a business line of credit. This thing is driving me crazy. Can you guys see this? Okay, let me move it down a little bit. Okay. You can also get a line of credit, right? So this allows you, based on the value, the equity of your business, your cash flow of your business, how strong your cash flow in your business is, they may allow you to take out a line of credit that you have repeated access to. So for instance, a small business might apply for a line of credit, let's say $50,000 line of credit. It's different from a loan because what you're going to do, let's say it's springtime And in my business, let's say I have a bakery. I make cupcakes and birthday cakes and wedding cakes. The winter, you're not getting as much business as you would get, let's say, in the spring, summer, and fall, right? Because that's when everybody has their weddings, you have graduations, you have people are doing more special occasion, a lot of them this time of year, right? But over the winter time, maybe things slow down. Maybe you have employees that are seasonal. So let's say you have 5 people that work in your bakery, but in the wintertime, you only need 3. So you lay 2 of them off. And you might need money to pay the light bill, and you might need, to pay the guy that delivers you 2 tons of flour, right? Things fall behind. So you go and you take out of your 50,000 line of credit. You might say, you know what, in December, January, February, I'll take out $10,000 each month. So now out of the 50,000 that's available to me, I have taken out 10,000. When things pick up, April, May, June, July, August, and so on, my business is bringing in so much cash that I can pay that $30,000 back into the line of credit. So now I'm back to $50,000 available the next time maybe a piece of equipment breaks down and I need to lease a giant commercial mixer for my bakery. And that lease is expensive, and that lease might be, $25,000. Well, I can go back into my line of credit, get the money I need for the lease, and so on and so forth. So it's something that you can dip into repeatedly. And it's a fantastic option if your business is really really good with cash flow, and more established businesses are able to take advantage of something like this. Then you have your merchant cash advance, right? And if you can see right here, it says your company must be accepting credit card payments, right? So if your business is not accepting, if you don't have a payment processor and you're not accepting credit card payments, this is not an option that will be available to you, right? But generally, again, based on your business cash flow, based on the turnover of your business, you might be able to say, hey, I'm really cash strapped, something crazy just happened, but my business brings in, I have a Jamaican restaurant and I sell lunch and curry goat and soup and everything all day long. Again, certain times of year I'm busier than others. And my ventilator hood just broke. And if I don't get it up to code and get it replaced, then what is it, Tamika? The inspectors.
Yes,
Yeah.
the inspector will come
And
and
they can shut me down.
sure can.
They can surely shut me down, and I won't be able to serve any of my customers, and then I won't be able to reopen my business. But on a good day, I have credit card transactions. Let's say I make $6,000 a day. I'm not a big business, but I make $6,000 on a given day. And right now I just need $4,000 to just get this guy to come in here and fix this thing, right? Whatever it is. So they use it based on your receipts of your credit card transactions. And please don't hold me to any of these examples. I just want to paint a picture for you guys, okay? Then you have asset-based loans. This is going to be for businesses with collateral, right? Or significant assets. So you might own a building. You might own a mixed use building where your little Jamaican restaurant is on the first floor, and maybe you have like another type of business next door, right? Maybe a little bodega. And above it, you might have 3 apartments. So that building might be worth a nice chunk of money, depending on where it is, and you may have some good equity in it. You can get a business loan based on using the building as collateral for whatever reason. Maybe you're making improvements to the building, maybe you're expanding, or you're making some much needed repairs and upgrade, right? They can use your building that your business owns as the collateral for that business loan. Okay. And then invoice factoring. Now, this is a whole other, such an interesting type of thing. Some types of business, they might have invoices that they'll provide a service and they'll send out invoice to their clients. The invoices could take 30 to 90 days to get paid. And if your business is cash strapped, which most businesses are, nobody needs, likes to wait 30 to 90 days to get their money, because guess what? The light bill is not going to wait 30 to 90 days. The water bill is not going to wait 30 to 90 days. Your vendors, in order to bring you more supplies, they need money. So this is a really interesting option if you have a significant amount of outstanding payments from customers. You can actually sell the value of that. Let's say you have, 100 customers that owe you a total of $30,000 in invoices for your services. You cannot wait 90 days for that $30,000. One example of this is a friend of mine. She used to own a home care business. So she took care of the elderly. She had home care assistants, going out to people's homes and providing care to them. A lot of those people were getting their needs met through Medicaid long-term care and other types of private long-term care insurance. The problem is, if they weren't paying directly out of their pocket, a lot of times she would have to wait 90 days, sometimes 120 days before she got reimbursed for the services. And every week she had to pay her CNAs, her nursing assistants, and her home health aide, right? So if you're waiting 90 to 100 days for your money, you really can't operate a business. So if you have a business that's in a similar situation like that, maybe not that one, but where you have outstanding invoices, there are companies out there that will say, you know what, we'll take this 30,000 in invoices and we can give you 50%. Let's say we'll give you $15,000. We'll take the invoices, we'll go after those clients and they'll pay us. But right now you can get $15,000. So said, so done. It's a really interesting method. Maybe your business may not ever be in this situation, but it's good to know that such an option exists, right? And the application process for most of these alternative financing options is usually online. A lot of times you just need a valid form of ID, your driver's license, your business bank account information, and the last 3 months of business bank statements. They're not looking at your taxes. They're not looking at profit and loss statements and all these other super technical things to give you a loan. It's faster. It's you can be way more liquid in a shorter time and a lot more flexible terms. Okay, so now we're going to talk about some non-lending business funding options, right? And what do I mean by that? So there are 4 types that we're going to cover. We're really going to focus on the first 2, which are crowdfunding and business grants. We're going to spend a little bit more time on those just in the interest of time overall. But then there are also venture capital and angel investors. And there's peer-to-peer lending. So we're going to look at all 4 of these types. And here we go. So in crowdfunding it's actually really common now. And I think when I mention some of the ways that you can get crowdfunding for your business, you'll recognize some of the names that are out there. But in crowdfunding, a business owner needs to put their business idea on the web. And you're going to ask people to invest in this idea. This is a type of funding that's beneficial for product launches, and various platforms can help you to raise money, right? So it's kind of a 2-in-1 benefit to your company. Not only are you getting or hoping to get funding by going to one of these platforms, but it's another way of announcing and launching and marketing your business to say, hey guys, look at me. I have this fantastic new idea and this revolutionary new product and service. Hey, give us some money so we can reach the whole country, right? So it's in one hand, you're getting some exposure, some marketing, and on the other hand, the potential to raise a significant amount of money for your business. Then I want to say, I think this is everybody's favorite, business grants. Grants are fantastic if you can get them, right? So usually grants are offered by a government organization, a nonprofit organization, or some large corporations will offer grants to a business, and they will help you. A lot of times it's for new business and startup business, but it can also be for very established businesses. And the main difference here is grants don't take a percentage of your business and they don't ask for repayment. With crowdfunding, you will get investors, and the investors usually want a percentage of your business, right? Or some other way of getting repaid their investment down the road. So those are two. The next two are venture capital and angel investors. So venture capitalists or angel investors are companies or individuals, lenders who exclusively fund startups and small businesses, right? They require a growth or exit plan to invest in your business. What does that mean? Because you're a new business or you're a small business, they're taking a risk on you. So this is a Shark Tank kind of situation. If anybody has ever watched Shark Tank, this is what they're doing. Shark Tank people are venture capitalists, or depending on the type of business or what they think about your business, they may represent themselves as an angel investor. So you come in with your brilliant idea, your revolutionary product, and you'll say, hey, Mr. Kevin, I want $100,000 for 20% of my business, right? And Mr. Kevin is going to say, oh, so you think your brand new business that you started last month is worth $1 million? Really? Right? You know how he gives what is he, Mr. Wonderful? So that is the deal. You go in and they'll say, hey, I like what you're doing here. I see a lot of potential in it. I'll give you $100,000 for 30% of your business, because I don't think it's worth that much, but I also want a bigger stake if and when you do become successful. That's what that is. And then you have peer-to-peer lending, right? This is a financing option that introduces borrowers and lenders through various trusted websites. It's, think Venmo or Cash App, but for business lending. So that's another option that exists out there. So let's look at some of these crowdfunding sites. I told you you would recognize some of these names. Who hasn't heard of GoFundMe, right? GoFundMe, I know a lot of people use it for a lot of personal, dramatic, traumatic, terrible situations that an individual or family might go through. But it initially really started up as a way to fund new business, right? Then you have Kickstarter, kind of same thing. You can go to their website, Kickstarter, GoFundMe, Indiegogo, and Seed Invest. All of these are websites that you can go on right now to figure out a way to get funding for your new or small business, right? Then down here, so business grants, you can start looking. So we have the Small Business Administration, right? It's a huge organization, and this is a government organization. They help small businesses start, learn about, get resources, all these different things to support small businesses. But they do not give grants directly to small businesses. They will give grants to small business development centers, right? These are usually nonprofit organizations that will make funding available to business owners or other smaller nonprofit organizations, right? And there are a couple of exciting things that are available right now. So right now, FedEx has a small business grant contest. You can win, they run this every year, by the way. You can win, the first prize winner can win up to $50,000, but then they're also giving, I think, 9 other prizes up to $20,000. you want to go ahead and apply for that. Then we have this other little small grant that I found out about last week. It's called Galaxy Grant, and this one is specifically for women and minority-owned businesses. You can get up to $2,750. This is the easiest thing I've ever seen. There is literally, you just go on and apply. You give your name, whether you are starting a business or already have a business, and then you can refer a person. So if you refer someone and that person applies, if they get a grant, you automatically also get a grant. So they're trying to encourage people to sign up and apply for this grant. It takes 30 seconds, and then refer other small businesses. So the more people you refer, the more likely you're going to get an opportunity to win. But anyway, it's only going to cost you 30 seconds of time. I will give you the information on how to do that. Then this is exciting here. So, we're the African American Chamber of Commerce of the Hudson Valley. We're in our own little corner of New York. But then you have the giant United States Chamber of Commerce that covers the whole country. And they have a list of 68 grants and loans for your small business that I will share with you shortly, okay? So we're going to give a couple of quick resources to people watching today. That brings us to the end of the webinar. Again, we are the African American Chamber of Commerce of the Hudson Valley, where we're striving to promote Black excellence in business. This is how you get in touch with us, right? Our phone number is here. Our email, if you want to contact us, info@aacchudsonvalley.org. There is our website. And our YouTube, I already told you, is at AACCHV, and it's the same for Instagram. We would love to have your support. Follow us, like us, comment on our posts, let us know how we're doing, and of course, join our chamber. And thank you for watching. Hello? Hello, anybody there? Let's see what's in
We're
the chat.
here. We're here. We're here.
Okay, Sharnetta. Hi, Sharnetta.
Hello.
Nike. Oh, that's NICAT, Blessings Academy. Okay.
Kneecap.
Kneecap. Miriam. Awesome. Hello. Hello.
I have a question for you when you're done.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for this information. I'm taking good notes and I'm already following you on YouTube.
Awesome.
So I have my idea. It's already established business, but I now need to open. So what do you recommend for a preschool exclusively for children with special needs? It's going to be a preschool and a therapeutic center, 9 months to 5-year-old. How do I get funding out of everything that you said, besides the grant that as soon as I find my laptop, I'm going to apply for them? What else can I do? How else can NECAT open with these alternative funding?
So there are so many resources available for that particular area. So part of my background, for a brief time, I was director of marketing for a large nonprofit that only took care of children and young and adults really with intellectual and developmental disabilities. The state has so many funding programs. They've got OPWDD, right? Have you gone on to that?
No, but I'm in Florida.
You're in
not
Florida.
New York.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You're going to actually find, or you should be able to find, a lot of funding for that kind of programming. I don't have a list right now, but I know there's so much funding. There are tons of programs. There are many. I would highly recommend that you seek out larger nonprofits in your area that have, places that run the school, like YAI. Have you heard of YAI? It's a nonprofit that
No.
specifically addresses, okay. They specifically address children with special needs. YAI is one. The ARC, have you heard of the ARC, ARC?
Yes.
Okay, good. You're going to contact them. They're going to have a ton of resources for you, for people, children and adults with special needs. I would advise you to start there, and they will lead you to other resources.
But you know what I was thinking about, like
Mhm.
in terms of the ARC, they have exactly what I want to do. Do you think that they will be open and receptive to give me information knowing I want to do what they're doing?
Yes, because you're not competing with them. It's not a competition thing. First, those places are always, there's only so much they can do in the community, and there are always going to be other newer, younger, smaller nonprofits that kind of fill the gaps of what they may not cover, right? So you might become a resource to them. You want to think about it that way, like how can I be collaborative to you? How can I support the mission of what your organization is doing? But even before you reach out to them, just dig into their website, go to see where they get their funding from, how much money they raise every year, because a lot of times those kinds of organizations, they will disclose that. They'll have like a yearly report. They'll say we raised $5 million last year. We supported, 25,000 individuals and their families. And we got funding from this, this, and this, right? So you can find out, just do a little digging, do a little research. And another thing that those types of organizations do, they have 1,000,001 fundraising events and recognition events. Go to them, right? Because then you might meet 30 other providers in your area, and they're all going to be able to share with you how they get funding for their programs.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Let me show you the sites that I promised I would give you these grant resources, right? So here is, let me shrink this. This is the page for the Galaxy grants, right? I'll drop the link to this in the website. What am I saying? In the chat. Where are you, chat? Okay, so this is the link to Galaxy Grants, $2,750. Hey, use my name. Say Jillian Mullings referred you, child, because you know what? I got a business too. I wouldn't mind getting some extra money, right? You have to put an individual's name. Share it with your friends that have small businesses. Let everybody apply. You never know. One of us might get it, or more than one of us might get it. So this is the Galaxy Grants, and you can see, what are you doing? Okay. And you can see it's, this is a site that's dedicated to minority women-owned businesses. So it's made just for us. It's right there. I just dropped the link. Here's the other one, the FedEx Small Business Grant. This is for 2024, right? You can apply right on this page. I'll drop the link again in the chat. Where are you, chat? So, right? You can go right there and access that information. And good luck to you. So you see they're getting up to $50,000 is the main prize. Up to 100 businesses will be selected for this, guys. This is a big opportunity. I would apply if I were you, or share it. By all means, do not gatekeep this information. Share it with other businesses in our community. As you know, funding in the Black community for Black-owned businesses has been under attack. They're trying to shut us down. They're taking away affirmative action funding sources, right? So whenever you find a good resource, please, by all means, do not keep it to yourself. Share whatever you can. this is the mission of the chamber as well. There are some things that we're going to offer to you right off the bat, just because we want to support your business and we need to support our community overall. We need to support the economic development in our communities. We will share as many resources as we can. There are some things that we will charge for. Stuff like this, please don't gatekeep. Share it. If you know a small business owner, friend, or family member that could use this resource, please share it. And then the third thing I promised you is this U.S. Chamber of Commerce resource, right? They have this list right here, 68 grants and loans and other programs to benefit your small business. You're going to have to sift through it to see what they all are, but they're right here, right? So I will also drop that link in the chat. Okay, do we have any other questions or comments?
Hi, my name is Dee. And I have a question. I'm not sure if you guys covered this. I have a small business and right now it's currently under rebranding. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted to learn how to apply the taxes, to pay for taxes within my business. I don't know how to do that. Do you have any suggestions? I live in Westchester, New York.
You need a tax person.
Oh, okay.
Yes. You also don't, this is actually pretty serious, because you don't want to mess up your taxes and then get in trouble with the IRS, have them looking over your shoulder or anything like that. Can you drop your information? I will contact you and refer you to the tax person that I work with. He's pretty fantastic. If you'd like, you can drop your contact info and I will get in touch with you with that tax person's information.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Any questions? Any comments?
Thank you so much. This was awesome.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Okay, I'm just going through the chat messages here to see. Okay. All right, guys, if that is all, I'm gonna wait. So the young lady that asked about the tax question,
It's D from Fresh Start. I'll DM you.
oh, hi. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
All right, very good. So DM me, and if there are no other questions or comments, I want to thank you again for your time. And we will see you next month when we have our next webinar. Until then, take care.
Thank you for all joining.
Thank you for having
you.
You're welcome,
Thank you for
guys.
having us.
This thing is killing me today.